Oculus, begin transmission.
Transmission commencing.
People of note.
I'm not a very outspoken person, and Emilie's music has really given me the voice to use and the words to say when I really can't speak for myself.
I play violin as well, so it's cool to see someone else who plays violin but does it like in her own style. And so she inspires me musically, and then she's so personal with her fans. Like, I think everybody can agree that
Yes.
she just makes, whenever you talk to her, you feel like you're the only person in the room because she takes a genuine interest in what you have to say, and you don't meet too many musicians like that. So I think we can all agree on that. That's it.
The latest album, Fight Like a Girl, is a bit of an anthem, as it were.
Yes, it is.
So would you like to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So it's pretty simple and probably self-explanatory, but it's also fun to talk about, which is the title is a couple of things. It's obviously, taking something that's meant to be very insulting and turning it kind of into the ultimate compliment. So that's number one. That's meant to be an empowering statement. Mm-hmm. It's also really, literally, because the album is about telling this section of the story of my book. So it's really just talking about, this is kind of what it all goes to, is that these girls break out of this building, they have the Tea Party massacre, and they basically, simply because it is necessary, they just slaughter everybody in it. So that's, at that point, that was a life or death situation, and it was a them or us, and it was a right and wrong. So pretty much, if that's how, and I wrote it, so that's how these girls fight, and they're girls, you're fighting like a girl. Just like if you're a boy and you're really bad at throwing a baseball, you're not throwing it like a girl, you're throwing it like a boy who has never been taught to throw a baseball. So that's pretty much just the logic behind that. It's also, I think the best thing is that I thought that I would have to explain, when it first came out, I thought that I'd have to explain that this is not discriminatory, this is not anti-male or anybody else. And that's the thing, is like every time women take back their power, that's seen as an anti-male thing. And sometimes it's like, no, it's actually just about us for this minute. We can actually just say this is empowering. But also, I thought I'd have to say that, no, this applies to all of us. This does apply to boys. This applies to everybody. And it turns out that I've been completely blown away because I have never had to explain that one time. You'll see, like, our audience, which is equally 50% male, and the boys are up there in the first row screaming, I fight like a girl, and like raising their flags and whatever, and I'm just looking at them going, wow, I had more of a problem with this title than you did. They completely get it, and they're proud of it, and they know that it takes nothing away from them, and they also know that the sense behind the title, which is the taking something disempowering and turning it into empowerment, is only one example of phrases like that, or just thoughts that apply to all of us. They apply to boys, to things that are said to you guys. It applies obviously to gay, lesbian, transgender, all of this stuff, which is why we have a growing following of gays, lesbians, transgender, everything in between, that, like, who even knows what we all are? That's a whole other interview.
Well, actually, it's a good segue, because you've got a very diverse
I'm
following.
totally transgender.
Yeah, I can see that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you hide the Adam's apple real well.
Well,
Well, anyway,
Yes.
you have a really diverse audience. I mean, the LGBT crowd. There's a lot of like Lolitas and steampunks, and all. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of different types of folks.
So happy.
And what do you think? Not to kind of toot your own horn a little bit, but what do you think kind of draws folks to your type of sound?
I think because it is it's a diverse crowd because it's diverse music. Mm-hmm. So really, there is something for pretty much everybody.
Oh yeah.
And I think that is kind of that's the main thing. And then I think also there is an overwhelming message from me, from the girls, from the show, from the music, everything that is very much. I mean, if you put out something that its prime MO is empowerment in any form, you're going to find people that need empowerment. Guess who needs empowerment? Fucking everybody. So then, of course, you're going to get even more of the people that are in the subcultures, that are in the, you know, street fashion, that are in any sort of an alternative. It's not really that alternative, but quote, alternative lifestyle, minority, anything, because these people, us people, need that empowerment more than anyone. So that's why we get the really creative, you know, supposedly fringe people, which are exactly the ones that I want.
Yeah.
Is I want the ones that think differently, that look differently, that just are projecting their own individuality, no matter how hard that is. And kind of when people leave the show, an ultimate goal would be to take even more pride in yourself than you came in with, and to feel more confident about however the fuck it is that you want to look or live or anything. And it's all about, as long as you are hurting no one else, then be as absolutely insane as you possibly can in this world, because it all comes down to the situation of who's crazy really, because most of the time it's not the ones behind the bars that are really lunatics.
Well, to segue again with the crazy,
Yeah.
the bipolar is a kind of a big part of what you identify with and what you kind of promote as it being okay. And particularly with this album, you mentioned that you had actually been committed and come out of it, and that,
Oh, sure.
did a lot of that come into the process of writing the album?
Well, it does, but it's very simple, because it's like the album is a part of the book, which is about that.
And
so my job with this
I must
record
have
was
missed
simply
the entire
to tell.
book part. What's,
Oh, that's okay.
I'm so sorry.
No,
I listened
don't
to the
be sorry. It doesn't. You don't have to have read like my massive novel to have a chat. That's
Okay.
totally okay. No, it was a book that kind of is responsible for everything. It lays out this asylum world that is very real, and it is my diaries from that time that you're talking about. But then it's also goes into the alternate reality that I, out of necessity, created at that same time. So you have two worlds combining, where it's myself, my alternate self in the 1840s, 50s, whatever, it doesn't really say, that are going through the exact same thing at the same time. So it ends up being this historical time travel drama, murder mystery thriller, blah blah.
Why
It's a
have
lot
I
of
not
fun.
heard of this? This sounds right up our collective alley.
It is.
You totally
yeah.
would.
There's
take a look
gears
at the book.
everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, come on. The whole house is alive and it moves, and it's a structure, and like the walls come up and down. It's basically this giant machine that. Anyway, that's what we're.
I'm intrigued. Yes.
Thank you so much. Well, if I had one, I would give it to you. Of course, I don't, because they're £5 each and really difficult to travel with.
I
imagine
think
so.
I may have to talk to your manager about where to get a copy.
We'll figure this out. We'll figure. Hey, hey, Melissa. We'll figure this out. That's one of the voices I do on stage, and stick around. So the whole point with the book is it started off. You know, this is like a few years old now, at least, as this necessity to, all right, let's just lay it out there. Maybe we can help some other people. Maybe I can just write a really good story that's entertaining. You don't ultimately have to know that it's even true in order to get something out of it. I think it's just like, in the end, it's like, just, anyway, enough about that. The point being that it was meant to, I mean, clearly you read it and you're like, this is a fucking script. This is a screenplay. This is a musical. Yes, it is. So the point of all of this is taking this shit to Broadway. This is kind of one of the final steps, this show, that you'll see before we do that complete production. Everything that we're doing is rehearsal for that ultimate massive theatrical musical production of the book. So the album is literally 1/3 of the score for the musical. All of the album is in this musical. So I've committed to putting this out within the next 2 years.
So you've got 2 more coming then?
No. We
Oh.
got this. We got a couple of movies. We got the musical.
It's-
I'm gonna need a couple more
speaking of
years
movies,
to create
I
this
know
thing.
a lot of folks that was in Dark Carnival with you, by the way.
Oh, Devil's
Devil's
Carnival?
Carnival.
Devil's Carnival. Sorry.
Fired!
I know. I'm
It's
fired.
I'm overwhelming his brain with
Yes,
magic.
I know.
So
I'm
it's totally
behind.
cool.
I can't quit.
It is dark as well.
Yes.
So
It is. I was
technically,
watching it last night.
you are also correct. Well, we're starting to film episode 2 like 3 days after this tour wraps.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that because the
Yeah.
trailer just came out for the
Right.
second part. So I was going to ask, is like, are we going to see more of the carnies since it seems
yes.
very focused on heaven this time around?
Right. Well, guess who's in heaven?
Oh,
This guy.
Awesome.
Yeah. No, painted doll kind of rules this situation.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
You're
Snap.
gonna learn a
Yeah,
lot.
I've had a lot of folks talk to me about it. I'm like, I'll get around to seeing it. It's on
And
my,
I get to do
it's
the
on the backlog.
Charleston.
Oh,
Right on.
Just saying.
sounds
Yeah.
fancy.
It is. It is. And this one is like massive feature length.
Oh, so not just the.
Ew.
Okay then.
See, it's funny that you're working on a musical because I was telling a friend of mine I was going to get the interview and I was really excited about it.
Oh.
And she's like, well, what kind of music is Emilie Autumn? I'm like, well, it's kind of
rock
like
opera, whatever.
Bach meets Bauhaus with some Broadway thrown in.
B&B.
Well, I'm a big fan of alliteration.
I am too,
so-
and the rule of threes.
Yeah. But for folks that are unfamiliar, how would you kind of typify your sound?
At this point, I say what I say to cab drivers when they're like, "You look crazy. You must be in a band." And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so." And then they just say, "What is it?" And I'm really just over saying like 5 different genres to try to explain because it doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't really tell anybody what you really do. And so now I just say rock opera, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, like whatever," and then just like, yeah,
No, it works.
thanks. It's quick.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
The elevator pitch. You always
Exactly. Yeah. Always. I like how you put that.
need one. The thing that I kind of I'm always surprised about because I mean when I DJ sets I'm constantly asked, oh, who was this band, who was this artist, and folks constantly every time whenever I play some of your songs they go, who was it? That was really good. And I was like, that's
And
Emilie.
then never play it again.
And that was like I was like, no.
Who was that? Don't. Good.
There's some of yours I go to on a consistent basis actually.
That's lovely.
I do like an 80s cover set, so like the girls just want to have fun, kind of.
I love the 80s.
Yeah. Oh no.
You know it.
Yeah, you got a lot of good stuff in there. Oh, I always say it's like Emilie Autumn, and then these folks in fantastic Victorian attire with gears and everything just go, I'd never heard of him. I'm like, really? I'm a little
You're
surprised.
Come on, guys.
I mean,
seriously.
it's the aesthetic.
that should be a prerequisite by now.
Well, exactly. Like
Your
in my
entry
opinion,
fee, and so
like-
that should be the cost of my album.
Exactly.
To like
yeah.
the scene.
It
We'll
seems
change
to
that.
me one of the as far as steampunk sound goes. Like I mean, in my opinion, you're one of the key linchpins in it because
Thank you.
your
Wow.
aesthetic matches, your attitude matches, your music
Spicy.
is spot on.
Thank you.
But in the shows that you go do you see a lot of the steampunk crowd more in some places, less in others? Because I think it may just be my region that I'm
Right.
in.
I think-
that there's just isn't a lot of exposure, or
I think it definitely is more in some areas, but because I'm moving around so much, I'm not even going to try to pretend that I can remember where it is.
Okay.
I'll just say it's a mystery that it definitely changes. In Europe, especially though, is a lot. Like we get a massive steampunk audience, and they go all out. So I definitely am hoping to see some of that tonight because I know you guys are rocking the scene and situation. It makes me very happy, very proud. And yeah, you're gonna be hearing a lot of machinery sounds on stage. So come on,
no.
Yeah.
you people should be really into this.
So what would you actually define as steampunk? What does that mean, in your opinion?
In my opinion, it's the simple concept of mixing the old with the new to create the future.
Perfect.
Yeah. We're
All right,
trust.
well, thank you so
All right.
very much. I know
Thank
you've got a lot
you.
going on. I appreciate it.
Everybody here, just like myself, loves Emily. She makes everybody feel pretty, whether they think they're ugly. She's inspired me to pick up a violin and try to learn. She's just a wonderful person. Loving, caring, she understands your feelings, whether you think she doesn't, but she does, and she puts it in her music. Thank you.
The art of suicide, lay down in hair, curls drying every which way. The pain to pure delight, it is of size, and you can see lovers' lies. Under the arches of my left side, suddenly easy to contemplate why. Why live a life that's tainted with pity and sadness and strife? Why dream a dream that's tainted with trouble and less than it seems? Why bother just for a moment or another sad song to sing? Why live a life? Why live a life? The art of suicide, pretty and please, convey the theatrical scene. Alas, I'm gone to cry, wrinkles display melodramatically lay under the arches of the light sky. Suddenly easy to contemplate why live a life that's tainted with pity and sadness and strife? Why dream a dream that's tainted with trouble and less than it seems? Why bother just for a moment or another sad song to sing? Why live a life? Why live a life? Liesel, and of course anyone unsure or in between. Welcome to the Asylum for Wayward Victorian Girls! This evening it would be my greatest pleasure and highest duty to present to you, my fellow lovers, my fellow sisters, my fellow inmates, the Bloody Crumpet! First and foremost, I would like to introduce to you the one you've all driven here to see. Our leader, our hero, the object of our unbridled lust and worship, the one and only, for one night only, myself, Captain Megan! Thank you, good night! Happy
Just because it's her birthday doesn't mean that she'll be a bitch.
Too true, too true. I would love, no, none of that, to have the most desirable pleasure of introducing to you my one and only companion for life. Emilie Autumn! Yeah. And should we move on? There's one more, I think. One more. Would you all like to be introduced to the one and only Scarlet Harlot? Veronica Varley! into all of this mess? How did I end up with this deadly homelessness? How did it come to this, where every song I sing is nothing but a list of hate and suffering? We never will forget, and no, we will not forgive. We fought hard not to die, yet we don't know how to live. How do we change our world to what we want it to be? How do we move beyond all of this misery? One foot in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one. I've been in chains since I was nothing but a kid. We don't know freedom, not quite sure that we ever did. Now that we have it, how do we make use of it? We've been committed now to what do we offer do? I used to have a home, now I don't even have a name. I'm nothing but a number, here we are all the same. I've lost so much, so many of those we love are dead. How do I get these memories out of my body? And one foot in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the. How do we bear this burden? Far too much to carry. How do we change our prison to a sanctuary? We've been kept from the light. No one ever gave a damn. If I've no one to fight, how do I know who I am? One foot in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one. We waged a war with hell, and look, we still survive. But just because we live does not mean that we're alive. We've won the final round, yet how to enjoy the win when we've been broken down, and we'll never know what could have been. And help us, where do we begin? One foot in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one foot, in front of the other foot, in front of the one. The birthday girl, Captain Nuggets! Emilie Autumn! No,
plague rats! You. Without you, all of this would never exist anywhere outside of the corner of my diseased brain. Never! This is our story. This is our world. You are beautiful. You're amazing. Look around and see how incredibly weird and different you are. This is kind of incredible. You're amazing! Thank you! You're all out of your bloody minds!
End transmission.
Transmission complete.
My heart is a weapon of war. My voice is my weapon of joy. An eye for an eye, a heart for a heart, a soul for a soul. We fight for the dream, we fight to the death, we fight for control. There is no such thing as justice, or the best that we can hope for is revenge. A hostile takeover, an absolute rebellion to the end. This is our battle cry. I'm giving you a head start. You're going to need it, 'cause I fight like a girl. I'll get my revenge on the world, or at least 49% of the people in it. And if I end up with blood on my hands, well, I know that you'll understand, 'cause I fight like a girl. I'll get my revenge on the world, or at least 49% of the people in it. And if I end up with blood on my hands, well, I know that you'll understand, 'cause I fight like a girl. We are under attack. What is the body count? I've lost track. If nobody's mentioned how this will end, then I'll be the first. There are more of us than there are of you, so show me your worst. But there is no such thing as justice, or the best that we can hope for is revenge. A hostile takeover, an absolute rebellion to the end. This is our battle cry. I'm giving you a head start. You're going to need it, 'cause I fight like a girl. I'll get my revenge on the world, or at least 49% of the people in it. And if I end up with blood on my hands, well, I know that you'll understand, 'cause I fight like a girl. I'll get my revenge on the world, or at least 49% of the people in it. And if I end up with blood on my hands, well, I know that you'll understand, 'cause I fight like a girl. It's so easy to kid. This I learned by watching you. If I have to, I win. It's not pretty, but it's true. I am through lying still, just a body to be beaten, fucked, and if I'm lucky, left for dead. So who's scary now? No mercy, it's a bit too late. The game is on. Don't run, don't hide, don't wait. 'Cause if we've got no honor, then we've got no shame. If it's in self-defense, then we will take no blame. This is our battle cry. Even if you're only a boy, you can fight like a girl. I'll get my revenge on the world, or at least 49% of the people in it. And if I end up with blood on my hands, well, I know